I don't know. At this point, yo, I don't know. Life is real time kicking my ass. Kicking my ass, yo. Oh boy. I am in Sterling. Thank God my car made it to the bowling alley here. My check engine light is now on, so that's amazing. My oil light keeps flickering on and off despite it not being the time for an oil change. None of my solar deals are going anywhere. So yeah, life just kicking my ass right now. All my bills are like due, and I have $20 to my name. Credit score in hell. No savings. Everything is just going to shit. And I mean, at this moment, I have no solutions. I have no quick fix. Oh boy. All I can do is bowl. It's literally what I got right now. Thank God my car made it here. Check engine light came on my way here, and it hasn't gone away. I mean, car still starts, but it's still on. Oh man. Yeah. I mean, despite everything going to shit, what I do have, I have my dog, my goody girl. I have my dignity. I have prayer. I mean, at least I still have the car. It's not gone. I have 2 free bowling games inside. I still have my movie membership, so I can go to the movies later today. I have my locks, which have grown out considerably since cutting all my hair off. My hair grew back. I have a beautiful day. It's not raining. I have some sort of food at my apartment, so I don't necessarily have to starve. I have $20, 2 10s in my bank account. I have service on my phone since I paid this month's bill last month. I have my glasses that I bought last year that turned into shades. I have my New York lip gloss. Pretty bomb. Oh, it's leaking everywhere, but I still got it. I have my handy dandy reliable Converse. They look dusty, but my Converse that I love, that I wear everywhere. I have an iPad that I had to get for this job. Yeah. I am blessed. I am blessed. I have a freaking penthouse. I can't pay rent, but it's the penthouse and I haven't been evicted yet. Yo, this shit is crazy. I have 3 bowling balls. I have my dignity. I have my dignity. I'm grateful for making it this far in life. I mean, graduated high school early, got a New York and Virginia real estate license, got a certificate in visual design, avid reader, I can paint. I've been to the Library of Congress and got these great African American knowledge cards. Let me see, because honestly, all these people had harder lives than me. So let's see, because it could be worse. Could very much be worse. I could be in the little streets right now with nothing at all. Who do we got here? Pearl Bailey, 1918 to 1990. From singing and dancing in her father's church at age 3, she went on to become one of the most enduring and admired personalities of the age. Pearl Bailey's realm of experience was indeed anywhere and everywhere, whether she was singing with the frank, world-weary sexuality, conducting a television cooking show, or earning a bachelor's degree from Georgetown University in her 60s. Her 60s, she earned a degree. Bailey began her stage career as a chorus girl before gaining fame as a singer on the nightclub circuit during the 1940s. A unique and underrated vocal stylist, Bailey had a string of hit records before making her Broadway debut in St. Louis Women. She worked extensively in movies and theaters, where her biggest triumph was in the 1960s revival of Hello, Dolly, for which she won a special Tony Award. Bailey was also known for humanitarian work, ranging from travel as an international goodwill envoy to AIDS fundraising. The day she died of a heart attack at age 72, she had been scheduled to address the United Nations. Dang. So she got her degree and died in the next decade. Her life couldn't have been easy. Ooh. Who is this pretty lady? Josephine Baker, 1906 to 1975. From the time she was a little girl, Josephine Baker was drawn to the glamour of theater. Despite living in the slums of St. Louis and being pulled out of school before she turned 10, she found the courage and had enough talent to follow her dreams. Baker danced in vaudeville houses and joined a traveling dance troupe when she was 16. In 1923, she landed a chorus line spot in the Broadway show Shuffle Along, but it was in Paris 2 years later that she stepped fully into the spotlight in La Revue Negre. Baker fell in love with Paris, and the city responded in kind. She was irreverent and exotic, known for her magnetic stage presence, lush body, deep red lipstick, and outrageous promotional antics, including her famous walk with a leopard down the Champs-Élysées. A politically courageous woman, Baker spoke and acted against racism throughout her life and was a member of the French Resistance in World War II, for which she earned both the Medal of Resistance and later the Legion of Honor. It's kind of wild. Girl who loved theater and ended up being a rights activist in her lifetime. I don't know. I just think, like, who will I be? What impact will I really make on the world in my lifetime? I have ideas, but as always, things never, ever go to plan. That's why I rarely have them. Let's see. I'll read one more. Give me someone inspiring. And I'm sure all these people are inspiring, but just something to make me a little bit better. Feel better about my current situation right now, because it's not great. A black woman. Marian Anderson, 1897 to 1993. She almost lived to 100, yeah. American contralto, Marian Anderson, considered by many to be one of the greatest ever, gained her first public renown in 1925 when she appeared as a soloist with the New York Philharmonic. Faced with limited concert opportunities in the United States because of racial discrimination, Anderson spent the next dozen years touring Europe and South America, where she became a major star. After she returned to the United States in the late 1930s, her career flourished on the concert and operatic stages, and she gained numerous honors, both as an artist and as an individual whose powerful character was an inspiration to fellow artists and the public alike. Her 1939 concert at the Lincoln Memorial was a signal event in the national consensus, transforming an ugly racial incident into a mass affirmation of human dignity and equality. These three women had their struggle, had their dreams, and still ended up making a difference in America, pushing us forward towards racial equality. Now, I don't know what real challenges they faced on the day-to-day, because I only have this snippet of information. But them being able to succeed in the time period is miraculous. Like, she wasn't getting success in America, so she went to Europe and South America. Honestly, I wish I could just go somewhere out the country, like see the world. I don't know when or how, but I do. George Washington Carver. A world-renowned archaeologist. I can't speak. George Washington Carver, 1864 to 1943. A world-renowned agricultural chemist whose advice was sought by scientists around the world. George Washington Carver was also in the world of Nobel laureate Ralph Boncher, the least imposing celebrity the world has ever known. Born amidst the bloody struggle over slavery in Missouri and orphaned by it, Carver grew up in various parts of the Midwest, working at odd jobs as he gained a high school and college education. Though gifted in both music and art, one of his paintings was exhibited at the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition. Carver ultimately chose to pursue his lifelong fascination with plants, earning a master's degree in science at the Iowa State College of Agriculture. Subsequently, he was invited by Booker T. Washington to join a facility at the Tuskegee Institute of Alabama. Booker T. Washington. I love that he started his own school. There, for many years, he conducted the research that would make him almost as well known as his friend Luther Burbank, extracting from soil and crops such as peanut and sweet potato an unprecedented array of dyes, foods, and other useful products. He invented peanut butter. Influence. Wait a minute. I knew this did not look like him, bro, for a second. Cards were stuck together. This is W.E.B. Du Bois. This is W.E.B. Du Bois. This is George Washington Carver. think a dark-skinned black man in the 1800s garnered such success and influence in the world. And I'm sure he didn't see the full impact or influence he's made in his lifetime, but it extends multiple generations. And since I showed the wrong picture, I will read Du Bois' 1868 to 1963. Oh wow, they lived in the same time period, 4 years apart. It is a peculiar sensation, this double consciousness, the sense of always looking at oneself through the eyes of others. One feels his tonus an American, a Negro, two souls, two thoughts, two unreconciled striving, two wearing ideals in one dark body, whose dogged strength alone keeps it from being torn asunder. W.E.B. Du Bois was an impassioned scholar, an intellectual warrior on behalf of true citizenship for African Americans. Educated at Fisk and Harvard universities, Du Bois wrote his stories, sociological studies, informed sketches of Negro life, and an autobiography. Editor, teacher, and organizer as well as writer, Du Bois organized the first International Congress of Colored People and was a founder of the NAACP. He was often at the center of controversy and towards the end of his life grew discouraged with his struggles in the United States. In 1961, he moved to Ghana, becoming a citizen there the year of his death. Dang. This is the story I was looking for. Struggle, despite his struggle and discouragement, this man is still a treasure to the Black community. He did his best for his time. That's what really matters. And he almost lived to 100 years old. The 1960s were tough. He didn't get to witness the death of Martin Luther King in 68. But dang, that was one of the roughest times to be alive here. And he chose his peace and moved to Ghana. I admire that. So many people like me who have been through worse and have survived and have passed, but still left a lasting mark on our society. Is Sojourner Truth. Sojourner Truth was, and in some ways still seems, ahead of her time. As a feminist in the abolitionist movement in which slave typically meant man, and as an activist for African American rights in the suffragist movement in which women typically meant white middle-class women. If there was ever a person to take on the problems of black female invisibility, however, it was the electrifying truth. Like Harriet Tubman, Truth was born into slavery with the given name Isabella and had no formal education. She fled the last of a series of masters in 1827, and several years later, in response to what she described as the command from God, became an itinerant preacher and took the name Sojourner Truth. One of her most memorable appearances was at a 1851 Women's Rights Conference in Akron, Ohio, where she forcefully attacked the hypocrisies of organized religion, white privilege, and everything in between in her famous "Ain't I a Woman" speech. This photograph shows an artist's conception of her in 1864 visit with President Lincoln. She got to visit with President Lincoln. This woman is a national treasure. And she spent over 30 years of her life enslaved. Yet she still found the strength to overcome her adversities and to keep pushing forward for new generations. Well, children, where there is so much racket, there must be something out of kilter. I think that twixt the Negroes of the South and the women at the North all talking about rights, the whites men will be in a fix pretty soon. But what's all this here talking about? That man over there says that women need to be helped into carriages and lifted over ditches and to have the best place everywhere. Nobody ever helps me into carriages or over mud puddles or gives me any best place. And ain't I a woman? Look at me. Look at my arm. I have pluges implanted and gathered into barns, and no man could hid me. Ain't I a woman? I could work as much and eat as much as a man when I could get it, and bear the lash as well. And ain't I a woman? I have borne 13 children and seen most all sold off to slavery. And when I cried out with my mother's grief, none but Jesus heard me. And ain't I a woman? Then they talk about this thing in the head. What's this they call? Member, audience whispers, intellect? That's it, honey. What's that got to do with women's rights of Negroes' rights? Or Negroes' rights? If my cup won't hold but a pint, and yours holds a quart, wouldn't you be mean not to let me have a little half measured full? Then that little man in black there, he says women can have as much rights as men, 'cause Christ wasn't a woman. Where did your Christ come from? Where did your Christ come from? From God and a woman. Man had nothing to do with him. If the first woman God ever made was strong enough to turn the world upside down all alone, these women together ought to be able to turn it back and get it right side up. And now they is asking to do it. The men better let them. Obliged to you for hearing me. And now old Sojourner ain't got nothing more to say. Damn. I felt the pain in her words, yeah. Some things just still ring true today. Oof. This is from the National Park Service.gov. Delivered 1851, Women's Right Convention, Old Stone Church. I feel blessed to be able to know this history and to still have a chance to make my difference in the world. So I will keep on going. Despite the adversity, despite oftentimes being the only Black woman in the room, I am blessed to be there. To be the first to walk my own path. Because my journey does not look like me. I must keep going. Hopefully, I'll be able to come back with a success story in the end. Yeah.